Hello, everyone. Welcome to the University Showcase today. We will have two sections of the presentation from our incoming exchange student. The first one will be Valentine from the Netherlands. The university is Maastricht University, located in Netherlands. And although Valentine is not from Netherlands, but she will give us an introduction of his home university. So let's welcome him. The presentation, and I will assign him for speaker first. Just a minute. Okay, you can just present your PPT if you have, and just show your presentation to everyone.
Yes, let me know if it works, if I click on here. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we have it.
Right. So, hi everyone, my name is Valentine. I am from Belgium, but I study in the Maastricht University, and I'm exchange student here at Taiwan Tech. So I'm going to introduce to you my university right now. So here's a quick overview. We'll talk about the university, about the PBL method, the location of the university, the different faculties and study options, facilities, and then if you have any questions, please let me know. So about the university, so as mentioned, it is located in Maastricht, which is in the Netherlands. It was founded in 1976. It is one of the youngest universities in the Netherlands. The student body is approximately 20,000 students from more than 100 countries, and actually more than half of the students are international students, either exchange students or full-time students. About 75% of all the study programs are conducted in English, and it is the most international university in the Netherlands and one of the most international university in the entire continent of Europe. So the PBL method. So the PBL method is a instruction method that's like used in the university, and it's really different than what you have here. So it is a method where small groups of students work together to solve real life problems. Instead of like just passively listening to the lecture, the students actually lead the learning and participate a lot in groups. So what does the classroom look like? Usually it's classrooms of about 10 to 15 students who work together like around a table in a class. And there's a tutor who guides the session and facilitates more than lecture. So the students are expected to actively discuss, question, and explore the subject talked about, and also do independent research before the next session. There's also obviously lectures, but it's like once a week or something. Most of the class are like in this kind of settings. So what are the benefits? It improves the critical thinking and problem solving skills. It strengthens teamwork and communication, boosts independent learning and self-discipline. It enhances presentation and argumentation skills, encourages active participation, deeper understanding of the topic, and it prepares for the real world work situations. But it also really helps because if you come as an exchange student, usually you don't know anyone at first. So since you're forced to work in group with a small group of people, it actually really helps to feel welcomed and to meet new people and connect with people and make friends. So over 80% of the students say that PBL helped them understand and retain content. So PBL stands for problem-based learning. Maastricht University was one of the first in Europe to adopt that method, and it's deeply integrated in every faculty. Also, we have like 2 classes every period, and every period lasts for 2 months. So at the end of the 2 months, we have exam for those 2 classes, and then we change to 2 different classes, and we don't really have to study again for the first classes we already passed. So the location. So Maastricht is located in the south of the Netherlands, Like here is the Netherlands, and actually here is Belgium, so it's really close to the border. It's one of the most international cities in the country, and it offers easy access to major European destinations, making it perfect for students who love to travel. I'm sure if you guys go on exchange or something in the Netherlands or in Europe, you don't want to just stay in the country, you want to travel around, and since Maastricht is really like in the center, it's really helpful. So yeah, the Netherlands shares a border with Germany and Belgium, and it lies along the North Sea. And also it's a really small country, but it's just a few hours away from big cities. Yeah. So why is it so great to travel from there? So like I said, it's located in the heart of Western Europe. It is surrounded by multiple airports like Maastricht, Eindhoven, Brussels, and others. It has excellent public transportation with affordable buses. There's like really cheap buses that goes to like from one country to another. There's also the train, and high-speed train, and really low-cost budget airlines like Ryanair and EasyJet. So yeah, students can easily take weekend trips without spending a lot, and many routes offer student discounts or cheap early bookings. So here's a little table with like the time to travel from Maastricht to like another major city in Europe. I'm not going to go over it because it's quite long, but you can see by a plane, it takes at most 2 hours. By bus, it can take a bit longer, obviously, but it's way cheaper. And the train are pretty good as well, but it doesn't offer for every cities. So then the faculties and the campus. So the university has 7 faculties offering a variety of study programs. Most of them are located in the historic city center, like SBE, which is the School of Business Economics where I'm from, the law faculties, and the art and social sciences. So these buildings often like really old towns, like old European buildings. Other faculties like psychology, neuroscience, health, and other things are based in the Randweg campus, which is like 10 minutes biking from the center, so it's like still really centered. It has a more modern feel and is close to the hospitals and the research labs. So here are the faculties and the study options. So there's SBE, which is the Business Economics and International Management, in which all the bachelor and master degree are taught in English. Then the Faculty of Art and Social Sciences, same, everything is in English. It's also in the city center. The Psychology and Neuroscience, everything is in English as well, but it's in the other campus. The Health, Medicine, and Life Science, only 40% of the bachelor degrees, are taught in English, but most of the master degree are taught in English. Same for law, and then the Science and Engineering is also only in English, and UCM, which is liberal arts and science, so you can choose every classes you want to take, is only in English as well. So yeah, then we have the student facilities. So obviously we have libraries with study zones, group rooms, computer areas, and actually that's a lie, it's not accessible 24/7. But yeah. Then we also have labs and research centers, obviously only for science and engineering and health programs. But yeah, they're like well-equipped spaces for those students who need it. There's also a big sports center with a gym, group workout, dance, climbing, as you can see here, tennis, and more. And there's also a lot of student associations or sport associations that you can join. And then there's the student well-being service with workshop, counseling, stress management support. So if you ever need help or need someone to talk to, they're always available and you can book an appointment. And then there's the career services and international help desk. So it helps for internship, part-time job, and life in the Netherlands for our international students. So that's it for me. If you have any questions right now, you can ask me, or you can always text me on Instagram or with my email. So yeah.
Yeah. Can I raise a very quick question to about the courses?
Yes.
Because since you have studied in both university, to compare the program in the business school, do you think which university will be more difficult for you?
I think it really depends. I feel like, for example, Maastricht is a bit more demanding because of the PBL method. We have to prepare, like read everything and prepare some like homework before going into the classroom. So like we're ready. But in the end, for the exam, then since we already really discussed and really studied during the period, it's not that much more to study. While I feel like here it's since it's more like lecture, you read the articles and then you go in class and you listen to the teacher, but it's more like passive. So when you have to study for the exam, you actually have to study more.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. To remind our Taiwanese student, I will speak in Chinese. 所有那个台湾的同学，请注意，这间学校只能有管院的同学才能申请，因为我们签约只有跟管院签。那他刚刚讲的其他的那个各个学院跟科系，我们同学是没有办法申请的。好，这样请大家留意。Okay, there's another question. 好啊，你可以开麦克风讲一下。Ingrid, you can.
你好。
我
想请问，因为只有管院可以申请，所以他这样子算是也要付姐妹校的学费吗？还是只用付台科的就好了？
不用，就是因为有签约，所以你只要付台科的学费。去交换期间，除非他有一些保险，就是保险费啦、学生费啦，那你当然要付住宿跟你飞去的机票，其他都是不用，那边的学费是不用付的。
谢谢，了解了。
好，谢谢。Any other question? 有没有其他同学有问题？好 Okay, if there's no more question, we will go into the second section, the session B. Okay, we will thank you, Valentine, for your presentation. We already record all your presentation. I will share to other students if they are not able to be attend. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Session B will be Christine from Indonesia. Christine, are you ready?
Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just a minute. I have already assigned you as a speaker. You can share your presentation now.
Okay, let me share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, welcome everyone to my presentation about BINUS University. Is located in Indonesia, but actually BINUS University has a lot of campus. Like they have like 5 different campuses in Jakarta itself. So I think you're gonna do your student program mostly on the BINUS Anggrek. So it's around Jakarta, West Jakarta. So yeah. So for today, I'm gonna talk about my speaker profile, the environment, the dormitory, the entertainment. But I'm gonna mainly focus on Jakarta because that's where you're gonna be in, and the body program, the department, and lastly, the living cost. And there's some pictures here. So this is BINUS Alam Sutra actually. So I don't know if you will have the chance to go into BINUS Alam Sutra, but I think it's really beautiful. For example, this is the lobby and this is the classroom with, this is mostly for the computer-based classroom. Basically, if you're coding or something like that, maybe you will use this classroom. And this is the auditorium. This is the iconic banner, which just means if you're doing some, if you did some cheating, you are gonna get dropped out. Yeah. And this is the cat from BINUS University. And next, I will talk about myself. This is my speaker profile, and my name is Christian Arifin Gouw, and I have a Mandarin name given from my grandfather. it's U Tuantian, and I'm majoring in computer science and information engineering department in NTUST, but in my home university, I am doing computer science, and my main interest would be UI UX design, data engineering, computer graphics, and or you could say interest also is for photography, graphic design, and a little Kenjutsu. It's because I joined a Kenjutsu club in NTUST actually. And my language is I'm proficient at English, native at Indonesian, and Hui Itian in Mandarin. And my social media, if you want to ask some questions later on, if you're not here, you can use my social media, which is from the line or the link. And next, I'm gonna talk about the environment and Indonesia compared. It's actually pretty similar, I would say. That really quickly or not, I don't know. Let's see. Let's talk about the air quality. Actually, for in Taiwan, the air quality is kind of worse, but I think that's unfair to say that because Indonesia is actually a very large country, yes. So we are actually not fair to us to compare Indonesia and Taiwan. But I think in Jakarta, it's really, really polluted. So because a lot of people are using their own vehicles. So as you can see here, they are using the motorcycle and stuff like that, and it's actually pretty busy. They are using their own private vehicles, and if you walk around, you need to wear a face mask if you have any respiratory problems. And let's talk about the weather. The weather in Indonesia is, I would say there's only like two weathers in Indonesia. It is sunny and rainy. I think for the sunny part, you're gonna feel similar to the summer in Taiwan. But I asked my friend about this, and he basically said that Taiwan's summer is actually really hotter than in Indonesia because Taiwan's summer has like a humidity, which makes it kind of more hotter, I would say. And the public transportation that is mostly used in Indonesia is gonna be the MRT, the bus, and maybe like Gojek or the Grab, but it's similar to Uber basically. And the roadside infrastructure, if you want to walk around Jakarta, be ready to walk on uneven roads because it is not well maintained. But I think you can still walk around. Just prepare your face mask and maybe your sunscreen and something like that. And yeah, let's talk about the dormitory. The dormitory is in which is pretty near to your BINUS Anggrek. Swimming pool, it's actually here also. And the gym and the 24-hour mini market, the laundry, the cafeteria, the bus. The reason they have a bus is that it's you can walk to the campus, but maybe if you're late or something like that, you can use the bus. Uh, there are actually three campuses near the dormitory, and they are not really near each other. So you might have to take the bus if you're using if if you're having a course on campus A and maybe you want to go to campus B, you might have to take the bus. And let's talk about the buddy program. There's a buddy program in BINUS University is the student voluntary program that basically helps international students. And what you get here is you have a local buddy and maybe several events like several hangouts and activities like the welcome trip, the culture and insight exchange, and the Christmas celebration. If you are curious on the iBuddy program, you might check out the at BINUS iBuddy. So the entertainment here, I'm gonna talk about the first one is the Ion Mall Jakarta Garden City because this is actually my favorite spot for leisure activities. So yeah, in the Ion Mall Jakarta Garden City, as you can see from the picture, there's like an ice skating rink, And it is quite large actually. So I think if you have time, if you want to do any activities such as ice skating, you might be able to go there. I think it's worth the money if you want to. So next one, I'm gonna go counterclockwise. So I'm gonna go to Monas. Monas or Monument National, or the English version is National Monument. It is constructed to commemorate Indonesia's struggle for independence and symbolize the fight for freedom. I think it's considered as a historical places. So it is, if you are, I think you can also get a lot of pictures there, and they have a museum if I remember correctly. So yeah, if you want to know about the histories of Indonesia, you can go to Monas. Next is Kota Tua, or the direct translation is Old City, which features the Dutch colonial building, museums like the Jakarta History Museums and the famous Fathahillah Square. You can get a lot of nice pictures there also. So, and if you're curious about the Indonesia's colonial era, you might want to see the Kota Tua too. And let's move on to Dufan, which is the amusement park. That is basically everyone knows that in Jakarta, this is Dufan, or it's the long version of Dufan is Dunia Fantasi, which just basically means fantasy world. It is just an amusement park. It has a roller coaster, live shows, and interactive rides. And lastly, the recommended entertainment is the Block M. It is one of the Jakarta most well-known shopping district. You can also do a culinary there in Little Tokyo culinaries. And actually, if you are interested in vintage or thrifting, you have to go there, basically. And other than that, if you want to try other stuff like culinary, I might recommend Indomie because that's basically everyone knows Indomie in Indonesia. Uh, and maybe pempek if you are curious about the other culinaries. And if you want to go to other historical place, there are a lot of historical places in Indonesia. And maybe you are bored with Jakarta, you want to go to maybe Bogor, Bandung. It's actually pretty colder than in Jakarta because they have a lot of trees and Bogor is uh, often referred as the rainforest city, while Bandung is actually the when we are in the Dutch colonial era, they used the Bandung as a retreat for relaxation. So yeah, maybe you want to go there. And Semarang and Surabaya, the temperature will be similar to with Jakarta. It's gonna be pretty hot. But basically Semarang is the port, and Surabaya is more to the museums and something like that. And maybe you want to immerse yourself in the Javanese culture. You might be able to go to Solo. You can watch the puppet performance there, and yeah. Next is the department that you might be able to take in Indonesia, BINUS. The undergraduate programs is computer science, the international business management, international relations, business information, business management and marketing, creative digital communication, digital business, finance, and international, graphic design, and new media. And for the graduate programs, the Magister Management Executive in Strategic Management, Magister Management Executive in Strategic Management, which uses the RPL track, Magister Management in Professional Business Management. And this is all gonna be taught in English, so it's gonna be an EMI course if you're comparing it to NTSD. And lastly, I'm gonna talk about the living cost. A rough estimation because I'm taking the maximum based on my friend highest spending in 1 month. Yeah, for the first expense, you're gonna have a meal, which is the basic human needs. The price range is between 30,000 rupiah, or which roughly translates to 60 NTD to 100,000 rupiah, which is around 200 NTD. It's gonna be per meal, so you have to multiply that by 2, which is around 60,000 rupiah or 120 NTD to 200,000 rupiah, which is around 400 NTD. And I would recommend you to eat Indomie, so I'm gonna add that into my living cost expenses. So yeah, it's gonna cost you around 3,000 rupiah, which is around 6 NTD per pack. See, it's quite cheap actually if you want to Indomie in Indonesia. And the rent, I got this information from my guidance counselor, which is he is pretty good at finding cheap places to rent if you want to rent outside the BINUS dormitory. It costs around 1,800,000, which is around 3,600 NTD, to 3 million, which is around 6,000 NTD monthly. And home essentials, maybe you want to clean your house or something like that, it's gonna cost you around 250,000 NT, 250,000 rupiah, which is roughly translate to 500 NTD monthly. And the traveling fee, this is optional, but I'm gonna include this because I'm guessing you're going to Indonesia to travel to somewhere instead of just studying at the university and something like that. So yeah, it's gonna cost you around 500,000, which is around 1,000 NTD monthly. And the total will be like around 9,750,000, or which roughly translate to 19,500 NTD per month. But I think you can actually get this cheaper living cost if you're just cooking or you don't really go out a lot, or maybe you can find some rent that are much more cheaper than I have included here. So yeah, I think you can get much more cheaper than this. But this is just an emergency case, the worst case scenario, basically. So yeah, and thank you so much for listening to my presentation. To ask me the question.
Okay, anyone has question? If not, 我有一件事要补充啊，就是印尼呢，我们是算新南向国家，所以台湾学生你如果成绩有到可以申请交换生奖学金，就是相当于多益750分的程度的话，你可以考虑印尼或是东南亚国家，因为它的虽然亚洲国家区我们是给6万，但是东南亚国家是给9万的奖学金，所以呢，假设印尼这样的比较稍微便宜的生活水准的话，其实9万块会在那边是很好用，这个推荐给大家。Okay, I just recommend the scholarship for Taiwan student because we offer higher scholarship for the student exchange to Indonesia more than the other country in Asia. So just don't forget. Okay, thank you, Christine, for your sharing and presentation. That's all our session today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.